Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live. Now, this interview is about a proudly South African collaboration where fine fragrance and art come together in a multi-sensory experience. South African contemporary artist Sylvester Falata has collaborated with WICK over the next 6 months to recreate his artwork on 11 fine fragrances. Each piece is his personal interpretation of the complex scent. Created with the intention to give back, this unique collaboration will be exhibited at the 2023 Open Studios Joburg from the 26th to the 28th of May. Now he joins us in studio to tell us more about this exceptional collaboration. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, so good to see you. Talk to us about this collaboration. How did it come about?
I got a call from WICK. They had an idea of, collaborating on fashion, not fashion, art.
Yes.
And the fragrances. So the idea was that I would create artwork that is inspired by the candles. So I would, light a candle and have the candle kind of inspire what comes out. And the intention behind the initiative is to give money to charity from the funds raised from the sales of the candles and the artworks themselves. And we've partnered with the Kolisi Foundation with that.
Speak to us about the interpreting the smell, you know what I mean? Because here comes the smell and putting that onto a canvas and what also came out of that.
So I used the notes, excuse me. I used the notes in the candles to kind of guide me in terms of the colors that I'll use. So lavender, for example, I'll go for a lavender color. If there's vanilla, I'll go for that. And I would just lose myself in the fragrance. And if it takes me somewhere, I will try and interpret that in the artworks as best as I can.
And talk to us about the process of having to think about the smell. It's not often that you think about a smell, it just sort of automatically happens.
The nice thing about having the candles there physically is that I didn't have to think about. So I literally just let go and just let it all unfold as the candle burns. So I always say that the art comes alive as the candle burns.
I mean, there were fragrances such as Stone Rose, White Shirt. Tell us about how you interpreted those.
I'm going to tell you about my favorite, which is Sea Mint. It felt like taking a stroll on the beach with a sorbet in your hand. It's a very fresh fragrance with a bit of sweetness to it. It's just absolutely divine.
And I saw most of the works, I saw the blues and, the blue comes out a lot. What is that significance of, and what is that an interpretation of how you leaned towards the blues?
My work is joyful. I'm very intentional about creating work that is positive, that is uplifting. And I find blue to be a very neutral color. We all love blue skies. For example, we all love water. And I went to blue because it was very neutral.
You said this was fun. Tell us a little bit about that.
I enjoyed the freedom of just letting it all unfold in a way that is not, I didn't have to think about what it's going to look like. I really just, and I love fragrance. I love scented candles. They are part of my practice. I will light a candle as I begin to start working on a piece. So this was, it was just absolute freedom. Absolute. And my studio smelled amazing for 6 months.
I can imagine it. And what did it teach you about yourself and this chapter of your journey?
To embrace freedom more. I spent 17 years in fashion, and there are trends, there's so many boxes that, one is supposed to fit in. Just being able to show up and as myself has been the biggest, I'm going to say achievement from just the experience, just the freedom.
Talk to us about that freedom and how would you define that freedom? If there was ever a way you could define that freedom away from fashion, away from where you are at the moment.
It's just the ability to be myself. Just unfiltered. That's it.
And that comes with growth as well, though. When you think about a young Sylvester when you were first starting out and to now, it also comes with being mature and growing and knowing who you are.
I agree 100%. And being able to take the lessons from the past and just being able to incorporate them in the person that I am now. I find that it makes the journey going forward easier. So now I'm not afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's how am I going to learn? How am I going to grow if I don't make mistakes?
Yeah.
For example, yeah.
I mean, talk to us about how you're hoping, your work and the exhibition changes the narrative, about gender-based violence, for instance, and the situation that we find ourselves in at the moment.
I'm grateful that I get to have platforms like these where we highlight what a scourge it is, but also just being able to have a meaningful impact by the funds that we raise, because the funds do go to spaces and places where they are needed. I think more than anything, it's just being able to do work that is actionable, where people can see what you're doing and see results. Yeah.
And speak to us a little bit about the work of this foundation that the proceeds of these candles are going towards.
So we partnered with the Kolisi Foundation, like I said earlier, and their main focus is around GBV survivors. And it's just been very interesting seeing how they work literally on a ground level, work with the families and females that are survivors of
all right. And fashion is still there, right? It doesn't go away.
I haven't completely I haven't completely dismissed fashion, so we'll see. At the moment, no, it's not there, but it's not a no. So we'll see. Maybe I'll find a way of fusing the two worlds together.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe a smell will inspire a garment?
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
And then, we could interpret that into a print on a garment.
Yeah. All right, and how do we access these candles?
They are available on WICK website. It's WICK Fragrances. And we are still available at Open Studios Joburg in Braamfontein. Tickets are available on their social media site. So I would love to meet you and see everyone.
All right, Sylvester, so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming through. Fashion, well, he says not former. He's still fashion design. It's still in there. Fashion design and visual artist Sylvester Falata has an exhibition in collaboration with WICK Fragrances from the 26th to the 28th of May, where some of the proceeds from the sales will be, of course, donated to the Kolisi Foundation. All right, let's take a look at tweets from our question of the day. What are some of these stories or events that caught your attention this past week? All right, JV Marawi says that's good. We have serious challenges to deal with. That's the waste of time and money. Zuma must concentrate on his case, ignore other things. He's 5-2 grave now.
And Julie says he's doing it in purpose. Well, he knows they're going to find wrongdoings on his side and impeach him. He's realizing that he's fighting a losing battle, trying to remain as a South African president. Good exit strategy.
Definitely has been influenced by other political leaders because they have illegal benefits that they're getting while Ramaphosa is in power.
All right, JV says that's good. We have serious challenges to deal with. That's the waste of time and money. Zuma must concentrate on his case and ignore other things. He's 5-2 grave now. I suppose this is a response to, the Zuma's former President Jacob Zuma's bid to privately prosecute President Cyril Ramaphosa.
All right, so we'll read that tweet a little later on the program. And if you're wondering what those tweets are about, of course, it is the Ramaphosa and Zuma case that we had during the week. Remember, we had Kenny Mapanga on that case. I think that was yesterday, yes. She was covering that case for us. So we are asking you to tweet us. What are some of these stories or events that caught your attention this past week?